Hi, everybody. Today, my psyche says I want to talk about emotions. When I was growing up, emotions weren't allowed in our house. You could have humor, you could have anger, you could not cry, could not say I love you, you could not be emotional. So, when I raised my kids and they grew up and they started saying I love you when they got off the phone and stuff, that was very awkward for me to even tell my kids that I loved them. But I embraced that growing that they brought, and I embraced that it's not something I should be ashamed of. I used to never cry around anyone. I would never cry for anything. Nobody would see me showing my emotions. As time's gone on, I've dissolved past that. I used to not like hugging people either. I used to also not care for animals that much. But as time has gone on, as the years have gone on, and I've gone through more and more pain, and I've gone more internally, and I've healed my inner child, and I've let her come back out, and I've apologized for the abandonment and the disservice that I did, the neglect that I did for my inner child. And as I've healed her more and more, it's freed me, it's freed my soul, where I can be more emotional, where I have such a love for animals. It's not just my inner child, it's all my trauma through my whole life. When I went through my divorce, I've spent years healing, years crying, months at a time, crying and facing the shadow and saying, I am not these limiting beliefs. I am not this trauma. This is what happened to me. I forgive myself. I have compassion for myself. I forgive whoever may have wronged me, and I move on and I release it. And it has given me freedom, and it has given me sovereignty, and it has given me authenticity to be me, to feel what I want to feel. When I'm tubing down the river, or if I'm playing in a park, my inner child comes out, I'm on the playground, I'm playing, I want to play Red Rover, Red Rover. I want to do whatever I want to do that's childlike, get in a water fight. I want to let her loose. If a movie comes on that's sad, a lot of things I can't even watch because it just hurts my heart. And I can't understand how people can be that cruel to each other. So I don't watch a lot of things, but I can watch like Home Improvement and Hallmark and stuff like that. And it makes me cry. And I had a friend stay the weekend, and they were like, you're crying at that video, or you're crying at that movie and everything. And I'm like, yeah. Don't fucking make me feel like I'm stupid for doing it. And that guy that I was dating for a while, when I would have something exciting happen, or an emotion or feeling about him come over me, I would text it to him. I would tell him unapologetically, check this out. This is how I feel. But people don't want to hear that stuff. That's why that guy was like, you're crying over that. That's why I got ghosted. Blocked. That's why I'm having problems with my dad, because he would rather talk about me to somebody else on the phone than talk to me about me. But I'm done apologizing. I worked fucking hard to get here, to where I can hug people, to where I can love animals, to where I can cry publicly at movies, on videos, where I can wear my emotions on my sleeve and wear my heart on my sleeve, and people can make fun of me, and people can walk out of my life and be like, well, she's too flighty, she's too emotional, whatever. But I do believe one day I'm going to find somebody that loves me for me and all my emotional ups and downs and everything else. And I'm not going to do myself a disservice by accepting less than somebody that loves all of me. I'm not going to do myself a disservice by bleeding out those boundaries that I've set for the way that people treat me. You set the precedence for how other people treat you. And I'm allowed to have all these emotions and not be shamed by them. That's sovereignty. That's freedom. I worked hard to get here. So, same thing in meeting, being talked about because I'm emotional or I get excited or whatever. I'm just over it. I don't care. I'm going to be me, unapologetically me. I'm not changing who I am and my true self for anyone. I don't care how lonely this journey is. It's not worth it. I will not wear a mask of any type, any way, any shape, any form anymore. It is true sovereignty. Emotions, they're just energy. They come and go, ups and downs. If you don't feel them, you're missing life. I love you, everyone. Have a good night.